made for live betting. Bet. Made for live betting.
Radiant
Anyway,
team
we're
back.
live soon.
Dire team back.
All right. Oh, yeah. Where are we? Oh, we're live. Are we
Radiant
live?
team
I think
back.
we're live. Okay. Well, welcome back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to what's game number 3. This is it. Winstrike versus Singularity in the lower final or semifinals. That's where we're at. Okay, regroup. We got Winstrike versus Singularity, best of the 3, game 3. The winner of this moves on to the grand finals where they'll take on Vegas Squadron in the best of 5 tomorrow. So again, I'm Breaky CPK, joined by Hasbass once again. And the third ban on either side about to happen. So, yeah, I mean, Singularity, if I had to say, obviously I know it's a 1-1 series, but they look like the better team for the most part, in my opinion.
10 seconds.
Yeah, other than committing everything towards the base in game number 1,
5
in
seconds
game number 2,
remaining.
they really did an amazing job. You know, Winstrike, they were on a lot of their comfort heroes, especially Kuman on his Storm Spirit. But they really came out on top as soon as that laning phase ended. Their rotations and the pressure they applied all across the map. You know, Silent, he didn't come out on top from that laning phase, and there was sure as hell no way he was going to recover with the kind of pressure they were able to exert with Pinmoon checks TA from that point on.
Nyx Assassin, the third ban from Winstrike. Isle's already been banned by Singularity, of course, as well as the Chen. I mentioned from the first game, I mean, we saw the Chen ban as well in that one too, but Beastmaster was another hero that Winstrike has shown to do very well with. Just yesterday and then multiple times that we cast him, and I know it ideally was paired with the Chen, but still as himself, certainly can be a pretty strong hero. So we'll see if Winstrike maybe goes back to that option for non-Crata specifically to play, but Singularity is thinking about the third ban, and they settle for the Batrider. So Mars has not been banned a lot today, but unfortunately has not been picked either.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Winstrike, they either go for the Sand King or the Doom here. They feel like two of the more common picks that we're seeing a lot here. But you never know. I really still haven't got a figure out on what people are prioritizing in this patch. It definitely does seem like IO is going to have to be a constant ban. We saw the one game where he was let through, you know, he just allowed them to finish the game when it felt like maybe it was over.
Earth Shaker.
All right, they go for the Earthshaker. That was Shashla played the last game, right? Yeah, so yeah, Singularity played the last game for his team, but Earthshaker picked up by Winstrike, showing that they like the hero. I do go back to as well. We're gonna maybe see some more Morphling shenanigans from the previous from the first game that we saw there, but that's still a bit of development to make before we really dive into that.
Yeah, obviously Morphling's nice against the Shaker because you just get your own Fisher. You also get your own enchant totem that you can use as the range for Morphling, you know, so you just get a 4x 300 times hit, and it's absolutely broken there. But Singularity, it looks like they really believed in this Templar Assassin. They realized Winstrike didn't deal with it great last game, so they're just going back for it in the first phase again, and I can't say I blame them, you know. They picked this TA so early last time, Winstrike. They thought, oh, we have the Storm Spirit. That's going to be able to help us handle the TA. And that certainly was not the case as it got to the mid-game.
We've been, man, it's just me. We've been seeing a lot of TA. Like this hero just is exploding all of a sudden. It's usually been more of like a specific player maybe really likes to play it, and every once in a while, it feels like every series we're seeing at least one, if not multiple TAs. Throughout it.
Yeah, TA I think is definitely a very high priority pick. We're seeing it, you know, picked or banned in most series now. At least I'm pretty sure that's the case. I think it's just the fact that even if she loses her lane, she can recover. And then just the raw amount of physical damage that she's able to exert, because that results in you being able to burst people as well as take objectives. And the fact that she also gives you a lot of map control and vision with those traps. There's just so many good points to this Templar Assassin that I can't see why you wouldn't want to take it.
Yeah. Now, Ember Spirit was one of the heroes that Singularity banned last time around after they picked up the TA, so
10 seconds remaining.
Winstrike making sure to get their hands in it before it inevitably was going to be banned.
5 seconds
And so they
remaining.
do have a decent lane matchup, but as we've even seen before, we've seen the Jakiro, we've seen the Batrider, like we've seen these instances where you have this hero that's meant to completely lock down TA in the laning phase, and even though it might do a decent job at it, TA is still very good at recovering, whether it's stacked camp, stacked
Radiant
ancients,
team
and
back.
eventually can still get to a power point that is hard to recover from. So good hero, but you still have to look at it from that perspective.
Yeah, Ember's one of those heroes who's not, all in committal. If he doesn't beat the TA in lane, not everything's lost. Ember Spirit, offers a lot in this mid to late game with the magic damage as well. I assume he'll go for the Maelstrom and that kind of thing.
10
So
seconds
Ember
remaining.
Spirit, he's a nice solid hero. He as I said the last game when he was
5
banned out, he
seconds
doesn't
remaining.
usually beat the TA in CS, but more often than not
Dire
has
team
a
back.
very real possibility to kill the Temporal Assassin. So we'll see what Primochek is able to accomplish.
Mm-hmm. Didn't mention much about the Lion yet, but Lion's second pick for Singularity is interesting pick in itself, considering again how we haven't been seeing a lot of him even after the 7.22 patch, although it just came out yesterday, so I can't say that too much. But
10 seconds
he
remaining.
picked up here from Singularity as a go-to support option. Does bring that solid stun,
5
solid
seconds
hex,
remaining.
and of course the Finger of Death nuke. Heavy burst damage, but Ember Spirit, with that Flame Guard, ideally is not going to be too concerned about it, and then hopefully for his sake could react in time, maybe even look to get a Lincoln Sphere this game, depending on how the rest of the lineup shapes up from Singularity.
Radiant team
Help you
back.
get away.
I think it's exactly as you say, though. That's why they pick up the Lion. They just want to have that teeny bit of instant lockdown, the hex and the burst damage. It's all so nice things to have on your 4 position because he's making those rotations. Let's say he combos up with one other hero, and you're going to be getting easy kills. And Winstrike again, they ban out the Drow Ranger, or
10
was it no?
seconds
It was
remaining.
Singularity who banned out the Drow Ranger last time. So I
5 seconds
think this
remaining.
hero is deep down in the pool of heroes you're not picking, but apparently that's not the case.
Yeah, they banned it because we were talking about the Storm Spirit synergy, I remember. I suppose with TA, of course, it is good too, and there's that aura effect, and they want to just pump up her damage as much as possible. Drow would have certainly been a way to do that. So not going to be an option here. Another hero that comes to mind that we haven't really seen recently, but does bring a nice aura and, of course, a nice enhanced damage. Vengeful Spirit, whether it's a support or even as a core role, could be an interesting pick to enhance somebody like TA's damage.
Yeah, the Vengeful Spirit, however, she wasn't being played in the last patch. She didn't get buffed in this patch, other than helping people not make a mistake. I don't know the amount of teams, and it's not just pro players or people in pubs, because you are spamming that R, to try and get that lasso break, to try and get that swap,
Radiant
and you
team
accidentally double swap people ever since it got those charges. So they gave a cooldown to swap, so you don't double swap people anymore. But I still don't really think it's a great pick anymore. Or the stun, it just doesn't seem strong enough, and that Vengeful Aura. I don't think she offers enough quite yet. Maybe if they give her a little bit more, she'll start getting picked up again.
Yeah. Huh. That's a Legion Commander. Usually, again, LC, the reasons to pick up LC is one, if you really want that single target lockdown, which against Ember Spirit is not a bad option. But also the Purge, the debuff, or the Dispel even for teammates with Press the Attack. And once again, I think
10
against Ember Spirit,
seconds
that is pretty solid. So perhaps it is seen as a decent
5
Ember Spirit
seconds
anti-hero. That's why Singularity is picking it up.
Yeah, I do find it a bit curious because you're exactly right. We usually see this Legion Commander against something like a Batrider, or maybe even against a Beastmaster. Something where you really need to be able to save someone. But it has that long duration
Radiant
lockdown
team
for the Ember Spirit. Maybe you'll be able to pump in the damage with the help of your TA and your Lion. And something they might do, depending on the lanes, is LC. If he goes one-on-one versus that Earthshaker, he does have a lot of sustain thanks to his Moment of Courage. So, if you do have to play some sort of musical lanes, LC is going to be fine in a one-on-one versus this Earthshaker, which might be something worth thinking about.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
Coddle, Keeper of the Light for Winstrike. As
5
a support,
seconds
Blinding
remaining.
Light is pretty good as, up against the LC, against Templar Assassin. So, that with the Will-O-Wisp, they don't have the I mean, I guess they have an okay. Legion Commander's okay against Will-O-Wisp to help take it out with that press the attack buff too, and increase attack speed. Somebody like a Templar Assassin.
I mean, just wait till he gets the AoE press the attack keywords. That Will-O-Wisp is not going to last long at all.
Well, that's 25, right?
I think it's 25. It's either 20 or 25, but it's still. The one thing I do have to warn you, if you're ever spectating an LC with AoE press the attack, is it's very loud if she uses it on a creep wave.
Oh yeah, I don't think I've witnessed that yet.
Yeah, it's like a Zeus with a Thunder God Wrath when you're testing it in demo mode. It gets louder for everyone it's used on. And interesting enough, another thing that you need to be hitting is the Phoenix. So maybe they've taken the LC because they see it as a bit of a counter to the Phoenix in that regard.
Yeah. Huh, this draft really is turning on its side, isn't it? We have some very interesting picks coming out from either team. But this is a third game, and again, it for both of these teams. Winner moves on to the grand final. Loser is done in the third, fourth place spot as a result there. But yeah, Phoenix happening, and just like the Will-O-Wisp answers, maybe so-so for Singularity, it's Winstrike. It doesn't really have the greatest egg hitters right now.
Yeah.
So
I think they have to take a Juggernaut or a Lifestealer here, whichever their preference is, because one is definitely going to be banned out. So. Fine, maybe they don't have to pick it right now, but in this game, they really need an egg hitter. Otherwise this Phoenix egg is going to walk all over them. Earthshaker and Ember Spirit and Keeper of the Light, all three of these heroes, not famously known for their attack speed.
Yeah.
Radiant team
Lena's okay too, but in the matchup against Templar Assassin, maybe not that great. Oh, well, that's not one of those. That's a Sven. Picked up by Winstrike. So it doesn't necessarily answer the egg with the Sven pickup. Echo Saber could be okay, but still not really addressing that. Just instead, they like the Sven for the Warcry buff, I'm sure, being a big part of it.
Yeah, as well as pointing out that there's no guarantee that this is the carry Sven for the side of Winstrike. You know, because it could be the offlane Shaker, the Sven in some sort of support position. And yeah, but actually, no, the side of Team Singularity, they think that it is the carry Sven, so they ban out the possibility of the Sand King. That's a really nice hero versus the TA, able to break those refractions as well as just a solid stun and magic damage.
Yeah. Well, you got back over to
10 seconds remaining.
Winstrike for their final ban as the Sand King ban comes out from Singularity.
5 seconds remaining.
I hate to do this. I have to go AFK real quickly. Finish off the draft. You got this.
No, fair enough. Okay, so I'm going to make some solo predictions by myself. And, you know, Singularity, they have Excalibur. I think maybe you get rid of the Morphling. The Morphling is obviously very good versus the Ember Spirit. He just gets so many good abilities. Can Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, you know, able to get on top of people. So I think you probably go for that Morphling ban because I don't really think you have the answers to it. I mean, there's no guarantee of it for the side of Winstrike. They might have a final pick up their sleeve that they're thinking about changing. That they're thinking about that the Morphling won't contest, but they do go for the Morphling ban. So by ourselves, we've successfully been able to get one guess. But now we're left for the side of Winstrike, and I think they need a Juggernaut. I think Juggernaut or Lifestealer. Obviously, you do have the Legion Commander who has the BKB piercing disable in that duel. So the Juggernaut isn't the Juggernaut or the Lifestealer isn't ideal, but I really want the ability to hit the Phoenix, but instead they go for the Lina. So this is going to be a carry Sven and I think a 4-position Lina. Lina is an egg hitter in a way. She does build up those stacks of fiery spirits. So I think that's got to be the thinking here with this Lina pick. She does have very good synergy with the Earthshaker and the Sven in lane. They have nice setup stuns for her LSA. But Team Singularity, they take the Lifestealer themselves, and I think that looks really, really dangerous, to be honest.
Okay, we're back.
I just want you to know, Breaky, I successfully predicted every single ban and pick correctly while you weren't here, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, no, of course. I'm sure I'll watch the VOD back and confirm that. Absolutely. Lina coming out for Winstrike. Okay, so they do get the Lina in the end. I guess it is going to be a support Lina, though, and it will be the carry Sven as Silent queues up on Sven, but then the Lifestealer happens for Singularity. So yeah, you were even thinking for Winstrike, Lifestealer would have made sense, but sure enough, Singularity picks it up, but oh no, actually you were talking about with the Kata, weren't you? So that is good.
Yeah,
10
I mean,
seconds
I mentioned anyone who can beat the Cottle or the Egg, and so it's good for both sides.
5
You know,
seconds remaining.
this lifesteal, you know, he'll be able to rage out of the Sleight of Fist searing chains and just be able to get on top of that Egg and press the attack lifestealer. That sounds very scary to me, if I'm honest. I think I really like the draft of Singularity. If I'm honest, I don't quite know if Winstrike are going to be able to deal with this Egg at all.
Yeah, not only press the attack, but just the Infest Bomb duel potential too. Like Legion Commander Lifestealer jumping in and throwing out that Infest Bomb to win a duel is huge, absolutely. So, yeah, I agree with you. Like, there is good synergy there. The Lina final pick from Winstrike. I gotta think like that really is the biggest reason why they wanted Lina, was just really needing an A killer. And so, as a support, it's obviously not as beefed up to kill said Egg, but ideally, she can still be there to kill the Egg if need be. But we've also seen some impressive support Lina performances, specifically Fear from J-Storm stands out. You know, the NA qualifiers, I know you're casting with me there. And so Lil, we'll see how he's able to play it. Actually paired up with this Sven. So that was the combo we were seeing, wasn't it? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. You have that very nice setup stun. It is worth noting that Lil will probably be laning with the Earthshaker, but still, that's another very nice setup stun. So I think he might be able to achieve things in lane with this Lina and land some good Dragonflaves and LSAs. But what was I thinking about? Yes, I was going to mention the fact that Shashlo loves this Legion Commander. He's, you know, part of the reason that this hero has been having a bit of a resurgence. He loves playing this hero, so it's one of his favorites. And I always think you have to, you know, kind of up a hero's estimation in your mind when it's on a person who loves it.
Yeah. Double Stout Shield build on Shashlo, speaking of him, on that Legion Commander, as both teams showing off their Battle Pass progress in the form of their shoutouts there in the chat wheel.
Yeah, Nongrata also showing off his Battle Pass with the very nice new Earthshaker Arcana. I think this is the first time I get to see it in a pro game.
Yeah, we saw it in the South America qualifiers. During the minor qualifiers, I got the chance to cast one, so it was Moose. I remember playing it.
Try harder.
So we didn't get to see the Ags, because I heard that he does like a flip, a pretty cool flip as well. But I am still excited for that. Perhaps we'll get that here with Nongrata. But yeah, it definitely has some sick animations. The Echo Slam is actually really cool.
Yeah, because this is the offlane Earthshaker, we are seeing them prioritize the Aghanims over the Blink Dagger, just so they have the continual reliable initiation in the fights, not just this one initiation in every 14 seconds. And Silent over here is going to take a bit of damage here, as he unsuccessfully didn't manage to get that rune.
But they did get all 3 other bounty runes, because somebody that was Coddle looks like he... No, wait, who wrapped around? Wait, did I say that right? Oh, must have been Earthshaker? Did he TP? No. Oh, Sven got that rune. So Sven got that. Okay, that makes more sense. And then Earthshaker got the bottom rune with Lina. Yes.
Yeah, I was really surprised because they were set up with the Impale, not the Impale, Spike on the Lion. But they still weren't able to get the rune. And now we're seeing how this 4-position Phoenix, what he's able to accomplish. Well, we do have a bunch of rotations in the lane, actually. Well, actually, no, it wasn't a rotation, Silent. He's just come back from base because they were able to get him solo.
Yeah, he exactly wanted to get some regen from the fountain instead of walking all the way back, having to worry about regening at the tower. Does the fast way, just TP's in. To the farm he goes. But yeah, Earthshaker Lina. Talk about the Sven Lina combo and how potent that could be with the target setup. But I mean, obviously Earthshaker is great as well. So certainly Excalibur will have to be concerned about this. He does have Rage, or will have it eventually, to help, but especially Lion. If he gets someone out of position, the Poshka is going to be having a death added to that list. So he's back for now, doing a pull.
Yeah, this top lane, I think he should be fairly okay for most of them. I don't think there's really much kill potential. They might be able to find the Phoenix before he gets to level 2 and doesn't have that Icarus dive, but I think as soon as he gets to level 2, they're pretty safe because there's no follow-up for the Stormhammer coming out from this Keeper of the Light. All he has is his Illuminate as well as the Chakra Magic.
Ember Spirit matchup against TA in the middle. Pick the Ember shortly after the Templar Assassin happened, and see right there the Flame Guard goes out with a Refraction. But right now TA's 10-4, Ember Spirit's 7-4, so Templar Assassin feeling pretty good about how the lane's shaping up at this point at least. Sven, meanwhile, taking some heavy pressure from Phoenix up at top as his support's currently doing a pull.
Yeah, Lil in the mid lane has the double damage here.
Could likely be a kill. LSA lands, Refraction's worn off, 7 more seconds, but never mind. Not chasing, and Pink Vincent just walks away instead.
Yeah, and Kuman, he's gone for a build which I think the only reason he's done it is because he's up against his TA with this early point in the Searing Chains. Quite often we're seeing Emissaries, you know, they max the Flame Guard as well as the Sleight of Fist because the Sleight of Fist, it really helps them secure CS in the mid lane as well as the Flame Guard amplify their farm once they go to the jungle. But just getting these Searing Chains because he really hopes to be able to kill this TA, I think.
Earthshaker now by himself at the bottom, and let's just say this SNG is running at him. Of course, they saw Lena mid, so they certainly are taking advantage. Get him to half-life, and now he's going back in. Gonna hit the stun with the Enchant Totem. Doesn't have his Fissure yet. He went level 2 Enchant Totem, as well as the Aftershock. So no Fissure means they actually don't have nearly as much pressure for a kill, and Nongrata's getting low. But backing off just in time. Lil being here too, of course, helps with that cause. Yeah, again, going the greedy farm build on Earthshaker. I'm sure he'll get Fissure at level 4 at least.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we usually see. I'm a bit. It's a bit interesting that he's put two points into the enchant because usually the thing you see leveled up is the Aftershock. Just because the enchant totem, its cooldown is always going to be the same. It's always 5 seconds, and you know, you get a lot more damage coming out from this Aftershock the more points you have in it. So interesting idea here. I guess he just wants to be able to secure CS, and 2 points is what he needs for it.
Yeah, that's the only logic there, is exactly just to help with the CS that much more. And good harassment, as you see there, when it comes to the single target. Every time he uses it, the whacks Excalibur, and certainly does some good damage to him. He's going to use it again. He took the Earth Spike stun as he did, though. Excalibur turns with a Rage on top of Earthshaker, but Earthshaker will just walk it up. But man, these guys are not afraid to fight, so no kills happening yet. But they are duking it out quite a bit at that bottom lane. Eventually, you figure it's going to happen in the near future.
Yeah, well, we're still waiting for our first blood. Almost 5 minutes in, this is a bit uncharacteristic of what we've been seeing in the tournament. The mid lane is starting to go in favor of the TA, definitely winning the CS there. But Kuman with 3 points in the Flame Guard, he might be able to get it in Searing Chains.
Refraction still on cooldown for 8 more seconds, but no chase. Kuman again at the tower, not the most life himself. Does not want to risk it. So, I mean, in my TA, I thought Ember Spirit was picked up mainly to be pretty good in the laning phase against Templar Assassin. So to me, this seems like it shouldn't be. The fact that TA is 27-10 and Ember is 21-8, a bit behind the TA.
I mean, the point is exactly as we've been saying. Kuman, he shouldn't be winning in CS, but his real hope is to get solo kills. That's why he has 3 points in the Flame Guard and 2 points in the Searing Chains. You know, he's just able to eat through that Refraction, but you know, he just doesn't have enough damage to be able to either last hit or deny against Winstrike. And Winstrike has been very good at playing just safe enough under his tower. You know, we even saw the rotation from Lena didn't successfully net this Ember Spirit a kill. So I really think it's props to Winstrike there, realizing that the aim of this Ember Spirit, it's not for CS, it's to try and get a kill on you. So he's been playing very safe.
Excalibur popping a Rage as saw the LSA coming. He'll be fine. Doesn't have a support currently with him, and boy, are they taking advantage of that. But he's sustaining pretty well. He has some stick charges. They go for the combo now. He does have Fissure. He's going to hit it, but with the stick. Excalibur does survive, living life on the edge right there. Lion just now coming back over. Doing a pull, in fact, but yeah, as the levels are the levels are adding up. It does seem like this Earthshaker is opening up more and more space to farm, and it's becoming a bit difficult for Lifestealer to sustain it in against the combo.
Yeah, you could see Nongrata, like how heavily a farming Earthshaker he wants to play, because he's gone for the Soul Ring. I feel like the Shasha's Earthshaker we saw the other game, he actually just went straight for the shreds. He didn't bother investing in the soaring. But oh, just as I praised Norcross, it looks like he might be in real trouble here.
Fisher saving, but the burn is enough. Jerry, first blood. I used to see that 2x combo pop, and that's another thing about the Arcana. He lands his Fissure Enchant Totem combo. But anyways, good kill onto Earthshaker, the first blood. A very late one, about 7 minutes into the game, but we could have seen a second one. Middle lane, being Winstrike. This time I've seen it before, but with more levels. Is it enough damage this time? Again, the Refraction taken off quickly, but he also gets a Sunray heal, so the answer is no. TA stays alive.
Yeah, that slow from the TA trap really saved me his life there, because Kuma would have definitely died if his Remnant had been a tiny bit faster, you know. And maybe you just want the Aghanim Scepter on the Ember Spirit to have those faster Remnants, say, you know, a new first item.
Yeah, how much? What does that do again? It's like cooldown reduction on it too, or something?
You get 5 Remnant charges, increased cooldown reduction, and your Remnants move at 2 times the speed, I think.
2 times, yeah. Oh no, there's no cooldown reduction, but it costs no mana, and it's also 3 times longer, the cast range, as well as 2 times the speed.
2 times the speed, 3 times the long cost. Sorry, there are so many buffs around it, but I still don't know if it's maybe a very late game item.
Yeah, that's one of those, you know, Scepter eats. You make it as a passive, you know, very, very late game, not something you're going to have in your inventory earlier on, I wouldn't think, but who knows. I mean, we saw the Morphling trick, and again, this is going to be one of those patches where there's a lot of theory crafting, a lot of testing that'll happen over time. We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out in due time, but bottom lane, Non-Grata. Next up, you're just going to pop that cool looking Echo Slam, the 5 times combo, baby. Yeah, you're a fighting game now. He's dead, though, unfortunately. Or is he? Yeah, Deer Spike hits. And what is that guy? I haven't seen that actually before. It's like adding up all the numbers and stuff for the damage.
Yeah, it's definitely fun to watch. We'll totally figure out how the Arcana works. That was a very a bit over optimistic Echo Slam there. I'm not sure he was ever going to get away. He wasn't going to quite get a kill. And now that's a cooldown for 120 seconds.
And it's also a victory for Legion Commander. Duels up on Lina. Jerry's there to assist. It was like 0.1 second from wearing off before the victory. So thankfully for Joshua, though, it works out. Now he has plus damage, plus 10 damage even to work with from that level 1 duel. So good kill as Lina ports back into the top. And she's been trying to make up some experience, you can tell. She's level 4 still. We are coming up to that 10-minute mark. So I'm sure one of the 2 tomes is going to go the way of Lil. Try to get that level 6.
Yeah, so we are coming up to the 10-minute mark. It doesn't look like we're going to have any crazy fights around the bounty runes.
Excalibur picks up his down here, and he finds Earthshaker. But the war cry, and he walks it off. Good to go. Yeah, you just see the 10 minutes hit, and all the tombs are just bought.
Yeah, Silence done a very good job of, he got whatever he wanted out of the top lane, did pretty well against this Legion Commander, which isn't a favorable matchup when you're a melee hero against a Legion Commander. And now he's gone to jungle, left this space for his 2 supports to be able to get their level 6. And it's, as you say, Lil, now with his own level 6, maybe he wants to pair up with Non-Grata. In 40 seconds, they will have that next Echo Slam. Hopefully look towards a kill.
No fear. He does level up his Will-O-Wisp. He has enough mana for it now. He might need to use this to get away. Will he commit? He does use it, but the duel hits as he uses it. Oh, no. Yeah, he's just a little bit too late, and well played by Joshlo. The egg as well from Jerry, ticking in the background. Free kill.
Yeah, I understand not wanting to use that Will-O-Wisp because it would have got rid of all the trees and your Duke potential, so definitely would have exposed you. But, Shasho, he gets that jewel off as exactly as you say, a second before they're on top of him and helps them get the kill.
Lina's wrapping around mid. Looking for a setup. Hasn't been the best game for Lil so far. In fact, he is just above his teammate at the bottom of the net worth chart in Keeper of the Light. So, really trying to be assisting in kills. But the Radiant team not giving an opportunity. Support Lina, that's 0-1-0, and nearly 12 minutes into the game does not feel good. It's going to keep moving, though. Does have Laguna Blade now. Use the tome to get there as expected. But Excalibur farming away, working on Hanamai. He's going to run right into Sven. Unfortunately, Lina's too far away, though. We'll just walk it off.
One thing I do want to point out is because of this Ember Spirit build here from Kuman, the fact he has so many points in the Searing Chains and not that many in the Sleight of Fist, it's really going to slow down his farm. Because usually you think of Ember Spirit as having a fairly good time once they head to the jungle with the Flame Guard as well as the Sleight of Fist, but you know, he's not getting a lot of that bonus damage. It has a higher cooldown, and another duel here for the Keeper of the Light in the top lane.
And it's not a victory, but it is a kill. He'll take it. Running away now is Shashlo, who was using the overwhelming odds, and he's going to be fine. Phoenix, no egg. He was stunned up anyways. They do at least take him out. That's the first kill finally happening, not only for Lil, but Winstrike in general. At least good to get on the board for them, so good turn, but LC, Shashlo, you mentioned he loves playing this hero. Plus 20 damage already. He is playing it well, and this is without a blink even. He's got drums, phase boots. He's going to have a blink very shortly.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're waiting in the trees. They'll have duel pretty soon. They have now the Finger of Death over on the Koshka. Is that going to be enough? Oh, with the Hex, are they going to wait for the duel? No, they're not greedy. I thought they might wait. It was very close to coming up cooldown. They might pay with the Life of the Lion here.
Yeah,
Oh, and also Shashlo.
Yeah, Will-O-Wisp comes out. Shashlo's going to run, though. Overwhelming Oz is ready. As well as press the attack, so he's going to keep running with the jumps. Look at how fast he is. Holy crap. He's fine.
Yes. But you know what? You get another... Oh, no, they didn't get the finger stack. It took a little bit too long to get that kill. Shashlo? Oh, not quite next to him with the jewel, but he reveals
buy the
himself
blink.
on Kuman.
He's going to buy the blink. Yeah, he just bought the blink, but he's too far away, still an Ember. Or is he? Oh, no, he gets greedy. He goes for the farm. And down falls Ember Spirit. That was so well played by Shashlo. I didn't think it was going to work because Ember Spirit was running away, but then he got a little too greedy, wanted the creep wave, and he phased.
Yeah, he didn't know Shashlo had the blink. That's the best reveal you can hope for. Just popping into the Shine Shop. They've literally see you a second before without it, so they don't expect it. A great play there by Shashlo. This leads you commander. How much damage does he have? Is it? Yeah, 30 already. Has the blink dagger. He's really on fire on this hero, if you ask me.
Absolutely. This, yeah, comfort factor. 14 minutes in to have these items is pretty ludicrous, and he's not even top farm in the game. That's Templar Assassin who did pick up the Desto and going the blink. So this ultimately keeps going back to my point of they picked up the Amber Spirit second pick to match up against the TA, and it hasn't worked. These teams that are trying to just address Templar Assassin's mid with certain matchups, Jakiro, Ember Spirit, Batrider, it's not working. It's like it's almost going to a point where I really think teams are going to start thinking about banning this hero against several players especially. And I think Vincent had already showed it in the previous game, and now is going to look to do it in back-to-back games as well. You are dead. That's going to be plus 40 damage on Legion Commander now. And we're now just 15 minutes into this game.
You died.
You know, one hero I'm surprised we haven't seen more of to counter this Templar Assassin is the Death Prophet. I think she really got a big buff with that Aghanim Scepter. I think it's really, really strong. And it does so well versus this Templar Assassin lane with that Spirit Siphon. It just eats through the refraction charges. You're good at pushing out lanes, and you're also good at taking objectives. So I think if this TA becomes a real problem and teams figure out this new Death Prophet, I really think she can be a hero who can be looked towards as a counter.
That's a good suggestion, I feel. And I know, I was chiming into that the lane finals happening VP versus Spirit, and I believe it was the first game as well, also had a Death Prophet in it. And I know you were talking about that too with the new axe, and really seems like a strong hero right now. So yeah, certainly one to look out for. Whether it's a counter to TA or just simply a good hero pick, you could argue, by herself. But TA in the Roshan pit, I hear a duel going off. That would be mid lane, and another victory.
50 damage already at 16 minutes in. They know what's going on with the Roshan. That's why they have the instant buyback.
Ember, oh god, no. Yeah, it wasn't actually happening at that point. He gets taken out. Press the attack. Mapochka's not going to save him. But still the last laugh going the way of the Radiant. Silent Falls, double kill for Excalibur. Lina's going to get caught out as well. Icarus dive forward for Phoenix. And Legion Commander, no duel ready. He's pissed off about that, I'm sure, but first world problems for him. Nice planning light.
Yeah, I was going to say pushing him to the high ground. Really nice Shasho. He had another duel coming up, but the side of Singularity, they have just been switched on in these last two games. You know, they're just getting kill after kill after kill. They're more than ready to fight Excalibur. You know, he doesn't even have a real item. He doesn't have his Radiant, just has the farming tools, the Midas, but because of the strength of both Jasper and Winstrike, you know, they're able to do whatever they want in these fights. The Sven, you know, they caught him inside the river, and Sven, you know, a tanky beast with the Warcry, but not against a TA with the Desolator.
There's somebody in chat making a point how LC doesn't scale well. Don't worry. There's two problems with that. One, you don't need to scale well, technically, if you're going to win the game before 30 minutes anyways. But two, he literally, or she, I guess, literally scales infinitely. Like, technically, you can keep getting dual victories, especially with their level 25 talent. And you could have an absurd, I've seen games with like plus 500 damage at points. It's just ridiculous to think. So I disagree with that statement. I think LC can scale very well, considering it is an infinite damage skill there. You know, not your traditional carry. Not saying you should be picking up position 1 LCs, but it's definitely scary, the fact that she is looking so strong early on in this game for Winstrike.
Yeah, I think kind of what they mean is, you know, when the game gets much later, everyone groups up as 5 and you're no longer able to get these solo pickoffs. But, oh, Ember Spirit, do they actually have enough? Is this going to be the first rule not one?
Well, I guess so, and it actually is going to be a death on LC, so silent credit for the kill right there. Will-O-Wisp is put down. Locked down on Templar Assassin as well, and she might fall with the Aegis. Yes, she goes down. They pop an Aegis and they kill LC. Two good answers there for Winstrike.
Yeah, a nice fight there for the side of Winstrike. Just, I guess they either overestimated their damage or they didn't realize so many people were behind the Ember Spirit to offer that kind of counter initiation. But this is what I love from the side of Singularity. This is exactly what they did last time when they lost the Aegis due to timing. They just look for another fight. This is not what you're expecting. You know, you just lost a big objective, but you're still on the map. You're still going for these fights. And the side of Winstrike, perhaps that Sven was probably dead to Excalibur by himself, but they're just there to clean up the kill with Winstrike.
And Winstrike is just going to push the bottom tier 1. On top of that, was that another dual victory?
Yep.
Sure was. Plus 68 damage now and counting. For Shoshlo, he's got the Blade Mail. Showed that off in the last fight, in fact, but of course a great end half for him too. I can't get over the fact that Lil is unfortunately Lena. It's again 2-4-1. It really has been a struggle for him this time around. Not the impressive game that we've been seeing from him throughout this event so far. But LC has a big reason to thank for that. I feel it's just been hunting specifically him and especially the Coddle as well.
Yeah, a bright side for the side of Winstrike is the fact that non-Grata, he's closing in on that Aghanim Scepter, and that really should allow them to change the nature of the fight from Winstrike. Instead of them being the ones initiated on by this Legion commander, they should at least be able to set up a fight, set up a pickoff, or maybe even get an amazing counter initiation with the power of Echo Slam and that Will-O-Wisp.
This will do nicely.
3 of the 4 bounty runes go the way of SNG, and Winstrike actually picks up the haste rune as well. On top of that, and he does also have the BKB in the stash. So the components of it just need to be delivered, and that's going to happen soon. Ags is finished on Earthshaker, so it's good for Winstrike in that it's going to help, but it's also good for us because now we get to see these flips that I keep hearing about.
Yeah,
Talking
about Aghanim Scepter, however, have you noticed what Jerry is building? I thought this might be a possibility with the change to the Phoenix Ags, because it just got buffed, really, because it got another component added to it. So now that... Oh,
wow, they blew up Lion. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second, because fight commencing here. The Egg on top of the Will-O-Wisp, not Grata jumping back in, 835 damage, baby, but TA doesn't care, just rips right through him. And with the BKB active, they're going in the Infest Bomb on top of Sven as well, as he's trying to get out of here now. But Silence locked down by LC. Silent goes down on Sven. They do lose Lifestealer, though. LC running away. TA is hit by Ember Spirit, and Templar Assassin gets picked off. So it's just suddenly a Legion Commander, the only one left. He does have a Blade Mail. You look at Kuman thinking about living life on the edge, but is not going to commit further. I mean, Winstrike wins that fight. It was looking so good for Singularity there, but they somehow won it.
Yeah, a great fight for the side of Winstrike, and that was the reveal of the BKB here on the T8. That was her 10-second BKB in the fight, and it just all comes to down to the fact that Winstrike, they were able to get that initiation. They blew up the line. He does buy back instantly, but by that point, the side of Winstrike, they're all the ones in position. The Will-O-Wisp is right there. They're able to focus down the Will-O-Wisp. They're able to... I don't know if the egg went off or they were able to kill that as well, but still, the side of Winstrike, you know, when they're able to take a fight, they do look very scary. And that whole fight was without the Echo Slam. So they might still be a bit behind in gold, but they're certainly showing that they can fight and they can get these initiations and kills.
8,000 net worth lead for Singularity, but certainly Winstrike. They do have fight as seen there, and Sven with the Heaven's Halberd. This is a build that we have been seeing on Sven players recently, even in that position 1. Again, great item against the Templar Assassin is talking about. Radiant's currently turned off for Lifestealer as he's pushing out mid. It's hiding in the trees right there, but does have that on him. And trying to get the Ember Spirit, but quickly remnants away.
Yeah, Shashlo does have a newly minted Shadow Blade that I'm pretty sure the side of Winstrike shouldn't have seen yet. So he might be getting a kill when they catch someone out pretty soon.
He's hitting bottom for now. Run up with Silent, almost protecting him in case they are going to jump Sven. He's going to farm the creep. I say that's pretty sure that's why Earthshaker's here. But as we see, that's not the case. The Radiant team is elsewhere. They're around the mid lane, trying to find that catch. Shashlo sitting comfortably with that Shadow Blade, but not going to find anything. Plus 86 damage though for him. Fantastic start. 6-1 and 8. Smoke play. I think a smoke over here. They're warding currently on the side of Winstrike. Do they even have a smoke on them? No, they do not. Never mind, unless something's being delivered. Nope, no smoke. Sticking together.
Yeah, just sticking together. I mean that's the thing you have to do against Legion Commander, you know, because he's clearly dominated here on Shashlo, that they are able to solo kill if any one of you are by yourself. You know, you're going to run into someone from the side of Singularity and you're going to go down. So they're doing the right thing here from the side of Winstrike. But obviously, when you're forced to stick together like this, you're going to lose out on the map because you're only able to farm one small area. While meanwhile, Singularity, they're getting experience as well as gold from a whole bunch of different places in the map.
So yeah, the net worth does continue to grow for Singularity currently. Roshan... very likely what they could be waiting for. 30 seconds on the possible resurrection. Now, again, though, if you do Roshan, it's not a guarantee because Winstrike, smoke play, and initiation from Earthshaker. Yeah, the Will-O-Wisp, the Wombo combo is certainly there. So this is ideally Singularity would want to pick first before they just simply commit for a Roshan. But we'll see what they do when Roshan is actually up in the near future.
With these TA traps, they'll know exactly when it respawns. And especially with the map control that the side of Singularity have, I really think Winstrike, they have to do something to try and get back on this map. They'll have some sort of idea where they are because they just saw the Sven take this bounty rune thanks to this Templar Assassin trap.
It is a very fast Roshan respawn. It's about 25 seconds on the timer, so it's ticking down quickly. Now the Radiant team, SMG, has moved out from the pit currently. You mentioned the TA traps there. So they are going to know as soon as it does spawn, and which is now. So the ping immediately comes out from Lifestealer, look like. And you mentioned, oh, middle lane. They jump in, they sure are. A lot of BKBs being committed for this Ember Spirit, though he is going to be fine. They did not have the follow-up lockdown. Good fissure. And SMG cannot commit further.
Yeah, I think the Fisher made Maposhka miss his Earthstrike, sadly. And they did commit the BKB here for Favorite check, but they're just so fast into this Roach bit and Winstrike. Because they don't have their lanes under control, there's no way they can get to this pit in time. Oh, that is a quick Roach.
Yeah, that was like a 10-second Roshan right there. So the easy Aegis, and that's Cheese, right? Yes, Cheese on Lifestealer. As well to go with it. Phoenix Axe, so what I was looking back at that. Scepter now also allows you to cast Sunray and turn its direction while in Supernova. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
It's a Death Star.
Yeah, I guess that's a way to look at it. That's definitely what I'm going to be calling it now, you know, because you're nice and safe here in your egg. They don't want to be hitting it into you, and you can either heal the rest of your team or hurt the enemy team, and it's it's just it's just a straight upgrade because you still get those hit upgrades, I assume. So it's gonna be even harder to kill the egg as soon as you get the Ags. And now the egg, as well as it's just a general burn around it, you have to tank a Sunray as well. So and EGM, he has it already completed. This is a pretty fast Aghanim Scepter for a Phoenix that didn't go for a Midas.
I coined it. Death Star it is. We win. Nobody else said it first before me. I'm excited to see that, though. That's going to be fun, you know, those lasers. And I guess, so he can actually use Icarus Dive as well? No, you can't use every ability, just Sunray. Okay. I thought for a second that you could use everything.
I think that would be pretty broken if you could move the egg using Icarus Dive.
Yeah, that would be absurd. Oh, who do they catch up here? That's Earthshaker. There's another winner chicken dinner for Legion Commander. Life Stealer with the Infest Bomb inside, too. We talked about that potential. They show it off there. Ember. Living life frisky. But they're now pushing as the Radiant team. They still have the Supernova with Death Star ready. Fortification pop, though.
They were very good at clearing through the creep wave here for the side of Winstrike. But I feel Singularity, they should continue this push, at least until they force the Earthshaker buyback or he respawns naturally. There's no reason they need to stop. They already have the Aegis. They have so much counter initiation just with the press the attack here on Excalibur.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Excalibur stunned up initially, it just blinked away. So the tier 3 tower is very low, but they just can't finish it off, and that's unfortunate. I mean, you kill that, you kill the shrines, it all starts to snowball, but it's a sliver of life preventing the death. So SNG has to figure out what they want to, where they want to go from here, just farming the resources. And as you pointed earlier, I mean, to be fair, the more they're doing this, they're just choking out Winstrike, and Winstrike kind of just has to chill and not get much farm themselves.
Yeah, it's just a very slow, suffocating death, and that's never what you want to happen. That's, I mean, that's why very often you see teams in this situation, they go for the last ditch smoke, but the side of Winstrike, they know they can't smoke until this TA's Aegis expires, so they're probably just gonna have to play very safe until then. They do have the BKB over here on silent now, so it means he will either be able to focus the egg or just not be affected by the radiance. All that kind of good BKB stuff, but still caught inside their base, and it never feels nice.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
There's the last Shadow Tower destroyed. That's Excalibur with the AC, ups to finish it. Winstrike continues to sit in their base, and I mean, ultimately they're just waiting for them to push in, of course. Excalibur's going to do right here. And he kills the tower. He pops Rage. Fissure block. It's a little awkward now. He's just going to infest inside the creep, though. Delay some time. He's still getting burst. Press attack comes out. He's slowing out, though. Echo Slam used on top of him, and he goes down. And they killed Jerry. He could not egg in time. So that fissure block works out big time for Winstrike, and now they're pursuing for more. They're going to catch Miposhka. Double kill for Nangrata. I mean, it was a bold move to just go right for that tier 3 with the Rage, but that's where Fissure's really good, and you have magic immunity. You can't walk through walls.
Yeah, really heads up play there by the side of Winstrike, just realizing that we can't stun him, but what we can do is keep him on our high ground. I thought he might have been able to get away once he went for that infest for the creeps. They were already low enough that they were just able to get that deny and take him down. And after that, is this the first? No, this is the second tier 1 of the game for the side of Winstrike, but this most certainly has given them a bunch of breathing room.
Absolutely, and it's a way to look at that too is that there's plenty of resources to make up on the map by having still 4 outer towers to kill if you're Winstrike. So definitely think it's a game that they are still in. Sven, AC is being worked on. He's got his BKB now as well, the full 10 seconds. Good to go. And Earthshaker is going to have his next item, which looks like we're going to see a Yule's coming out. But Ember Spirit, we mentioned the potential of the Lincolns, and sure enough, he has that. Go with the Maelstrom Drums. So the duel's not going to be as effective on him. Legion Commander, an item that he may want to think about, especially now, is that Heaven's Halberd. Although, what did he buy? Something is coming. It's a BKB. Okay. I mean, BKB is, of course, good, but I do think a Heaven's Halberd is something that, either that or even a Scythe for Shoshlo wouldn't be a bad option next.
Yeah, I hear that. I think he should have this is his BKB on the courier, right?
Yeah.
He just needs to not be getting controlled, because this means he'll either be able to save people or at least his jewels will he won't be able to get stunned up in the duels, so he'll definitely be able to secure the kill on his target. But I am really surprised that Excalibur went down because, we saw the oppress the attack to get rid of one of the stuns, but, now that you have this Aghanim Scepter over here on Jerry, I know he wasn't able to egg, and maybe they stunned him before. Was he going for the egg over on Excalibur? I'm not quite sure.
I don't know. It was hard to tell. I was just watching Excalibur trying to get out of the base, so he might have been. That's why he was too close, but not sure.
Yeah, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. That's probably what happened. Oh, Kuman, he has a haste rune, and that's probably going to save his life. Oh, no,
as he runs right back into them. But you know what? It's working out for now. LC goes in. The quick duel takes out Coddle as if he wasn't there. And with the blade mail, the Dire team retreating. And the lift up on life shield to the side with the Eels. But TA gets a couple of auto attacks off as the Dire team keeps running. The Warcry buff helping, of course. But oh my gosh, that Keeper of the Light melted in just a second as soon as the duel came out.
Yeah, and it felt like the side of Singularity, they didn't commit very much to that. They haven't used Finger, they haven't used Egg. The cooldown on Jewel is very, very small, and they force out the Sven BKB and a whole lot from the side of Winstrike. But obviously Winstrike, we're still really waiting for that big Echo Slam here from Non-Grata. He's had this Aghanim Scepter for a while, but since then, just because he's been kept in his base, it felt like he hasn't got any new items. And as I say that, he also has the Blink Dagger. So can now initiate from slightly further away, and even more follow-up for him.
Yeah, choosing that over the Yules. So he wants even that much more mobility, considering he hasn't been able to get in there despite having the Ags. I think that's telling of why he wants the Blink for sure. So gets that now. And that big Echo Slam soon to come for Winstrike, at least that's what they need. Have a good chance, but that Daedalus on Templar Assassin, so much damage to come. Wait, oh, BKB committed. Okay, LT jumped in, that's why, and they catch Lena for the free pick. It's every dual target right now. It just seems like it's going to be an absolute kill for Singularity because it's 164 plus damage on LC, and then especially if TA is nearby, there's no chance.
Yeah, he just hits the BKB to go for that easy kill. They're just securing their numbers advantage, and yeah, when it's 4v5, when Winstrike, they've proved that they do have life left in them. They are able to take fights, but they're certainly not going to take ones where they're disadvantaged numbers-wise.
The rune of regeneration.
This is where you look at the Heaven's Halberd build of Sven, and I know we've been seeing it. I know Resolution for J-Storm go back to the NA qualifiers that we cast recently, and it definitely did work. But this is where it can be a bit of a head-scratcher item in that his other core isn't taking off this game, nor is he really a heavy right-clicker, at least the way he's building especially. Of course, he can do that on Ember Spirit, but that's not the case. So that's where I do look at the Heaven's Halberd now and think, okay, maybe this wasn't the game for it. It is still a good disarm against TA, but then why not Earthshaker get it? Or I guess he would be the only other candidate, but still, sacrificing your Sven's damage for the sake of having a disarm against one of the other cores, it's hard to find that being a good trade-off considering their lineup.
Yeah, I'm tempted to agree with you this game because you're very right. The other games where we saw Sven's go for the Heaven Halberd, it's because they had another hero who was there to deal most of the damage. Oh, and just as we're talking about the Sven.
Oh, well, some multiple fights happening. I was watching Jerry get blown up, but clearly Singularity had other plans. Sven goes down as well as Coddle, and now Earthshaker caught over here on the ledge. LC jump in, press the attack on TA, it looks like, right there to help her out, but Earthshaker eventually is found up on the cliff, so yeah, they lose Jerry, but they get 3 kills. Sven with a 5-back, he's running in. There's that disarm. Winstrike just gonna run though. In fact, Nolan he's gonna hide. He's hiding. The cleaves are hitting him, but then he pops the cheese and he's turning. However, he has proper fraction once they get it to alignment. Sven will finish the job. He did take out Ember Spear right before though. The stun on Alina, she came down for the yield. She gets taken out, but then she buys back immediately. So now Excalibur's in panic mode, trying to run away.
He does have Rage TP soon, so yeah.
Okay. We have not seen the egg yet since he's gotten the axe because he keeps getting blown up.
No, you're totally right about it. I've been waiting for the calls of "Here comes the Death Star," or maybe you just humming some Star Wars music or something. But still, all in all, a great fight for the side of Singularity. It was a bit split off at the beginning. They blow up the Sven, they blow up the Keeper of the Light, so they're missing these big ultimates. Eventually, they do lose the TA, but it requires a whole bunch of buybacks. I'm just looking at the buyback status now, and yeah, Kuman, Sven, Lena, just they don't have any. They don't have actually. Yeah, they don't have any for the side of the Xayah side.
And so why not try for Roshan, they say. All in play for Winstrike right here if I've ever seen one. They're not going to go for it in full, though. They realize that the raiding team's nearby. There's a rage popping. Scopper goes right for Lena. Lena's in trouble. She's probably dead. In fact, she sure is. Out for 94 seconds. TA bought back for this. Let's try to help the team out. Get further kills. There's that AoE press the attack, and she is level 25 now. Oh, boy. That's online, by the way. And they're going to catch up to Ember Spirit. He manages to get away, though, still, despite the initial stun. Andrada, Echo Slam is ready. He's going to use the axe to get out, though. And then Shade Totem's on out.
This Fisher block with the creeps, it's caught 2 of them in the trees.
Oh, it has, hasn't it? Echo Slam we're going to use up. See, it's one of those targets, and he's getting low. Press the attack, activate itself, heal on up. They get the kill on Earthshaker. 2 minutes to pop TKB, and Excalibur jumped inside TA4. Oh my god, it's a disaster. And we do see the egg. I don't even think we saw Sunray.
He didn't use the Sunray.
That's
Read the patch.
Jerry, get out of here. Why'd you buy the
Radiant's
eggs?
top tower
I mean,
is under attack.
they've won the game because there are no buybacks.
I don't care. I'm disappointed.
I'm disappointed as well. I thought he was going for it for the new functionality. But it was a nice initiation. They identified they were both caught in the trees. But that pressed the attack to be able to stop the follow-up combination from the stun. And, finally, the side of Singularity, they're able to take it. It felt like they were in control from very early on in this game. On the back of Shashlow's Legion Commander snowballing, it meant the side of Winstrike. They just had to play together to stop feeding this Shashlow Legion Commander. And I don't think it really worked because he ends with 190 dual damage, which is certainly a tiny bit impressive.
Yeah, well, 190 dual damage, and it was about a 38-minute game, so that in itself is crazy. In fact, he had like 100 dual damage at like 20 minutes. It felt like it's really the craziest of all. But yeah, big victory for Singularity, and even in the loss, they look like the better team, honestly. So they absolutely deserve to move on to the grand finals, and they do get that matchup against Vega Squadron. Let me double check something. It is going to be a rematch. So they did meet up in Group B in the winners match initially. Vega Squadron took that series 2-0 over them. So it's a rematch there, and it will be a best of 5 this time around. And that, of course, is tomorrow, as we've talked about before. So that should be a good one. Best of 5, Vega Squadron versus Singularity, where that $10,000 prize pool is on the line. It's $7,000 for first, $3,000 for second. Split that we're looking at right there, but it does mean our day is going to be coming to a conclusion. How's best?
Yeah. I'm very excited to see those teams up against it. Like, it really feels like the pace of Dota, at least in the beginning of this patch, it's definitely increased. Both teams, they were playing these very fast tempo, aggressive-based lineups. We haven't managed to see third Roshan except for that one-off period where VTune, we saw the Aghanims on the PA. We saw a new Aghanims, which is always fun to see. But both sides, they're playing very high tempo Dota, so it's going to be great fun for us on this stream to see how they match up against each other in hopefully what is the full best of 5. And since it's the end of the day, I'm going to be shameless and promote myself. I'm at Hasbaz Games over on Twitter. If you've enjoyed what I'm saying, please follow me out. I am just starting out, I think, on my casting journey. And thank you very much to She League and you, Breaky, for having me here.
I appreciate you joining, and always fun, and looking forward to having you on. Well, maybe having you on the finals. We'll talk to you later about that. I'm just kidding. We're going to have you on for the finals, of course, tomorrow. So that should be a good time for the Chi League Invitational European region. Again, with Singularity versus Vega Squadron. But today, we are wrapping up officially. So one more time, thank you for tuning in. I was at Breaky CPK, joined by Hasbaz. Thanks for tuning in. Shout out to Chi League, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for the grand finals.